Together, let's embark on a scientific exploration of yoga, where you are the scientist, your heart is the laboratory, and you are the outcome.
Namaste, everyone, and welcome to Astha. So far, we have dealt with the objective of our present life, and we concluded through various logical arguments that it was to ensure we help our consciousness evolve. In the next subsequent episodes, I think almost 3 of them, we dealt with how consciousness can be influenced in a positive or negative way by 3 other subtle bodies, namely mind, intellect, and ego. So, in short, Chetana can be influenced by Manas, Buddhi, and Ahankar. Today, we will see how the chakra system in our entire body plays out its part. But we'll stick specifically to one chakra today, and that is our Hridaya chakra or the heart. Heart chakra plays its pivotal role in our daily life 24/7. For that, we ought to know the nature of Hridaya chakra before we go any further. It is not a single energy vortex, but a complex energy vortex. Let me explain. If a chakra is to be compared with a star, or a flower, or a knot, the chakra, especially the heart chakra, is not merely a star but a constellation. Constellation filled with many star systems. They all are made up of Panchabhutas. The first chakra, heart chakra, is largely composed of earth element. The next chakra, which is Atma chakra, which is mainly constituted of Akasha or the sky element. The third chakra is all about fire element. Fourth chakra within that complex system is the water element. The fifth is here, Vishuddhi chakra. That is made up of air element, total 5. And that's why our Shastras talk about that once you cross these 5 chakras, or once you have mastery over Panchabhutas or the Dvandvas, you enter into higher zones. Now you are liberated. You are free from this bondage of life, bondage of incarnation. That doesn't mean that you will not come back. You will come back, perhaps, if you wanted to come back. So that is the freedom one enjoys, a state of liberation. Such individuals are reborn with a purpose, with a goal in mind, to help others reach higher states. Now, how to locate all these chakras in our chest area? I'll help you identify them, and if you practice long enough, you will be able to experience each and every chakra and very subtle nuances that goes on within the journey. Just as we have this journey from one chakra to another chakra, you will be able to notice your journey, your spiritual journey within the chakra itself. And since all chakras are infinite, without the guidance of a guru, one can really remain stuck at one particular chakra, because there too there is infinite expansion. Each chakra has its own spiritual state, affected by our thoughts and actions. It is very interesting to note how simple thoughts can have immense influence on our destiny. Because all these thoughts and actions, they affect this chakra system, and the impact of which we call karmas are carried on from one life to next. How do we somehow manage to influence these chakras? The whole mechanism is very simple to understand. Let me explain. There is one vortex system. Let's call it point C for our hypothetical understanding. That whenever one thinks or perceives something, it leads us to this idea, oh, I like this or I don't like this. Every moment in our life, even when you are not doing anything and you happen to see something, you seem to pass on remarks, oh, I like this, I don't like this. These likes and dislikes, they create impressions as well, and they get settled on point C. I will share with you where exactly this point C and other points are located diagrammatically. If you liked something, for example, a car, and you keep on thinking about that, it will affect your thoughts associated with liking a car will affect your point A. Similarly, if you happen to like someone and you are sensually attracted towards that someone, these vibrations will affect a particular point. Then let's call that point point B. And when we mess up and do not do things we were supposed to do, they create immense guilt and get settled on point D. Likewise, we have other chakras like Atma chakra, which is a mirror image of the first chakra, the heart, but having a more profound levels of consciousness. Now here is the way how to locate all these points. Now try to feel where last two ribs meet here, the very center of it, and go down by one finger, and then move 4 fingers inward. That is point B. And if you draw a straight line from B down, where the line touches the last rib, that's the point C. And just 2 fingers above this point B, you will see the point A. That's the one. And when you go 2 fingers inward from point C, you will see the point D. And exactly in between your left nipple and point D, in the very center of it, is the first chakra, heart chakra. Its mirror image is Atma chakra, which you find it here. You flip this image and you will see point here. You will feel that as point number 3 here. It is associated with fire element or Agni chakra, and this one is water element. And you form, when you draw a line and it touches here, forms a triangle. It is Visuddhi chakra, made up mainly of air element. Of course, these main elements are present as per their locations, but other elements are also present there. So when we say earth element is occupying the heart chakra, that doesn't mean earth element is there 100%. No, the other elements will also be there. Let's say maybe a combination of 30 to 40%. Now, let us see what really happens during our daily activities. When you like something, right? And when you dislike something, how does your heart feel at that time? Have you noticed? When you don't like something, your heart feels some sort of a weight. You feel restless. Or when one of your desire is not fulfilled, then too you will feel restless. And can you imagine what this leads to? The restlessness experienced on the first chakra will naturally affect the very next chakra, which is Atma chakra, where you lose peace of your mind. Some say, no, oh, I don't have Atma Santi. This is exactly what it means. Restlessness of the heart affecting the next chakra, where you feel lack of peace. You lose peace of mind. And when that remains for a longer period, it affects the third chakra, fire element. It is all about love. Now, what happens when this lack of peace continuously keep affecting the third chakra, fire element? Instead of love, it will result in anger. When your desires are not fulfilled, it eventually affects the third point, resulting in anger. And when anger remains long enough, it affects the fourth chakra, which is the water element. It is all about courage. But when fear has gripped you for a long time, this very courage turns into fear. Because of this continuous fear in you, it affects the next chakra. When you lose this courage and succumb to fear, you start creating illusions, and because of this, you lose clarity of mind. So this is how our impressions, our likes and dislikes, our desiring to have something so badly creates such things. When such is the case, let us say when your desire is fulfilled, which is noble, you will naturally feel contentment in your heart. You will feel calm. That is the quality of the next chakra, which is Atma chakra. Calmness will be felt. And when this calmness dwells in your heart for a longer period, you develop a lot of compassion. And because of this compassion, when it lasts long enough, you will feel courageous. And courageous feeling in your heart brings in a lot of clarity. Now, let's compare this procession from one chakra to another, where we move, where we experience contentment here, calmness here, compassion here, courage here, and clarity here. All 5 C's coincidentally. Now, when we compare this emotional association with these chakras, it makes a lot of sense when we read Bhagavad Gita. Let us refer to chapter number 2, sloka number 62. Lord says, when a man dwells on the pleasure of sense, attraction for them arises in him. From attraction arises desire, the lust of possession, and this leads to passion. Passion leads to anger. Next sloka, number 63 says, from passion comes confusion of mind, see, lack of clarity, then loss of remembrance, forgetting of duty. From this loss comes the ruin of reason, and the ruin of reason leads man to destruction. So you see, meditation done properly helps us experience each and every state associated with Panchabhutas, and having a mastery over Panchabhutas helps us transcend all levels of consciousness. After all, consciousness is also an experiential thing. It is not everything. My Guruji used to say that just as there are toys for children to play with, youth has its own romantic life to enjoy, And yogis too are somehow succumbed to the play of consciousness. We must transcend at some point. Why? Because even the consciousness is supported by something greater, just as body is supported through our brain's activities, and brain is supported by the mind, and mind is supported by the consciousness, and how consciousness is supported by the soul. It's a wonderful thing to observe, perceive, and advance accordingly. You see, I wish you all an adventurous spiritual journey. Practice heartfulness, you will not regret, I assure you of that. Because the journey from point to point, it's so exhilarating that no outside worldly pleasures can match it. Of course, you need commitment, serious commitment, sincere commitment, that if you are sincere about experiencing all these things, then this is for you. So, as usual, let's all meditate. These meditations I am sharing with you hardly last 10 minutes, and that is not my intention, but that much actually the time we have very limited time, because we are now discussing this matter over television. If you happen to meditate at home, please spend more time. Method remains the same. Keep your heart open. Reverentially attract this pranahuti in your heart. My master will never fail in granting you the experience of pranahuti once you have remained open with your heart and invite this godly essence in your heart with reverence. So let's meditate. Just simply relax and imagine that there is presence of divine light in my heart, which is attracting my attention inward. That's all we have to think. If other thoughts do come, don't struggle with them. Just remind yourself that, oh, right now I'm meditating. And of course, be receptive to this pranamati which is being shared with you now. So let's all meditate. That's all. We really do not have much time today, so I will take only one question. Daaji, sometimes when I meditate with you, it's easier. It's very difficult on my own when I meditate in the mornings. Why is that so? This is from Sister Rupal Desai, Navsari Center. Okay. When you meditate with someone, trainer or a master of caliber, what generally happens then is, because of this pranahuti that is coming directly from such a source, you are able to meditate deeply. It's like, sun rays are there everywhere. When you meditate on your own, you are able to perceive this transmission. Like anyone can experience the sun rays. But when you put a convex lens, since you are from Navsari, I can tell you, if you use a Bilodi glass or a convex lens, and when the light rays passes through this, it creates a very sharp flow of light. It gathers energy and pinpoints at one place, and it can burn your skin. So such is the effect of presence of a guide or a preceptor. If you are meditating with such individuals, you are having that convex lens effect. Otherwise, you do feel warm when you are sitting in the sun, but it's a different matter when you are sitting under a convex lens. The sun above it, of course. So, thank you. And I would like to thank for the significant participation in the Yoga for Unity and Well-Being program, especially to respected Srimati Rajvi Mehta of BKS Iyengar Yoga Center, Dr. Sadbir Singh Khalsa from Harvard Medical School, United States, and Shri Kaustubh Desikachar of the Krishnamacharya lineage. Heartfelt thanks. Join us every Sunday at 9 a.m. at Astha.